I've been on a dairy farm my whole life. My parents farmed in Holland. We were born and raised on a farm there, and in 1990 Dad decided to take farming over across to Canada to give every one of his boys a chance to farm. So we located here in Norwich in Ontario, Canada. We started in 1990 then. We purchased an existing farm. Dad being European, we wanted to switch to a freestall. So we switched to a freestall operation, and at that time, we bought our first harvester silo. Dad put up a 25 by 90. We added another one as we grew. Eventually, me and my brother took over, and we grew the herd from 60 when we started. We grew it to 280, and always having the idea to split the farm. When the original split was done in 2007, and in the spring, I relocated here, and my other brother Remco took over the home farm, where he currently is also milking 150 animals.
I grew up on a dairy farm in Wallacestown, Ontario. I always wanted to be a dairy farmer, so I went to school to Guelph, and I took the animal science degree. And after I graduated, I went to work for Slicksars as an AI technician.
My wife was from a dairy background, so when we settled here together, you know, my plan, we were milking 125 at the time, so together she manages the cows, she does the breeding, she looks after the calves, and then I do maintenance, feeding. I deal with the cows, I deal with the robots. You know, together we can grow this operation, and we'd like to grow it to a 200 cow dairy facility. Having her family also being loyal harvester owners, or, you know, with them running their new unloaders and stuff. So when we decided on the automatic feeding decision, it was encouraging to know that we have, you know, experience in the family with the new harvesters. So it gave us more confidence in moving ahead.
The bunker technology, which has become a very predominant method of storage, does not lend itself very well to automated feeding. Even if they ever do develop some form of that, which quite likely they will never reach the point of being able to control the whole feed process of filling to feed out the way that the harvester fits into the automated system here. Feed quality is still number one, and especially forage, because we've just come through a cold snap here where a lot of people are finding out that they're feeding frozen feed. And when you look at storage, building the storage today on farm, to store feed at moisture levels that are demanded by conventional systems, you're storing a lot of water. Feeding half forage, half snow to cows doesn't lend itself to providing adequate energy for cows that are already requiring 15 or 20% more because of the cold weather. To me, that you'll never escape that, no matter how much you automate a bunker or a bag or a conventional storage system. So
when we started in 2006, we said right away automation. We were going to automate the milking. And having done that for so many years, when it came time to look at feeding, we always had it in our mind to go bunkers and automatic feeding. But judging the feeding systems that are coming in or are installed now with a bunker system, it just caused me to look at other alternatives, as in labor savings and just in general simplicity. Other feedings that are complicated, and you're still dealing with frozen forages and different forages, and so then we started looking at uprates or harvest store system. So by going this route, we can automate 100%, and we don't have to. There's no labor involved. Our philosophy of the farm was we want to build a family farm operation. We want to milk 200 cows. I want to do it with wife and kids. And having dealt with labor off at the other farm and the complexity of trying to get good help in, or people that actually want to come in to work, we thought we were going to choose for automation as far as feeding goes. So as soon as ground was ready, construction started in March. The whole goal was to have the haylage unit up so we can start our new crop here with our new haylage unit So the first unit was done just a week before first cut, so wasn't a whole lot of time left over, but it was done. The first XL600 was installed before haylage. It was in there when the silo was filled. Then the construction of the second 28 by 110 was started, and then the third one was started. But I think the three were done in by August. Filling the silo, we had a homemade filling system was built and designed between my father and I. We based it on a below deck type system, or a dump pit style system, similar to what happens at the elevators. The trucks come in and they dump in a pit and they leave. It's basically the same thing here. We dump in the pit, the trailers go back to the field, so there's no wasted time. And based on what we've seen this summer, we were quite impressed with filling. With the new style blower we used, we were far able to fill harvesters faster than bunks.
I could say that you're seeing probably 250 on the Alliance Unloader, pounds per minute. It came up to be a big change when we put the XL in. These are the 400s or 600s or 200s that are there. They'll average anywhere from probably 350 pounds to 550 pounds a minute.
So when we started the planning of the whole project, we had seen several farms where the breather bags were external. So when we designed this, it was an external breathing bag system. So all the bags for all the silos are located upstairs in the attic in the feed room for easy viewing and easy service.
Control over your feed, especially with rain events, that can drastically change the dry matter that is going into the ration. And unless somebody is really watching that closely, that can throw cows off dramatically as far as their level of production. And when you transpose that over a whole herd of cows of 150, 200 cows, with even a dip of 1 or 2 pounds, and what it takes to get that back, that's quite significant, and the dollars and cents really do add up.
Well, we started using these silos back in September, so we've had 4 months under our belt now, and with the haylage unit anyway. We added corn as we harvested this fall, so biggest thing is consistency in feed delivery to the cows. Every day it's the same thing. There's no difference in variation in amounts or dry matter. It's consistent. For our corn or our energy requirements, we put up a 20 by 80 cone bottom silo with a cone bottom. Then it was filled this year with using an ag vac. It's got a vacuum system built on it. So the goal was to fill it with whole corn, whole kernel, and try and preserve the kernel as good as possible with no fines. And now seeing what it's coming out as it went in. So we had probably one of our best years for hay production anyway. So we put about 4 cuts into it. I think we was around 450 acres in it this year. So 4 cuts of roughly 125 acres each. We weren't able to get it full. We were within 3/4 of it. There's no need to go out and warm equipment up. It's just push the button and go. Having this feeding system, especially in the winter times, with a year like this year with lots of snow or any other year, but we're seeing a high consistent feed. We're not dealing with frozen silage or frozen unloaders or having to warm up equipment. It's just start and go. Feed's ready to go. It's always the same temperature. 100% consistent. The biggest difference is the scent of the corn. It's real sweet smelling silage.
Well, the 600 unloader, we've gone with the industrial gearbox on them, with the heavier duty gearbox on them. What he's going to see on them is the bigger hooks, the bigger paddles. It's got its own motor for its arm advance, so you can have the arm advancing, and it's not the ratchet system that you used to have to use on the Alliance unloader that had to move the arm around along with the motor on the unloader. They're 2 separate motors on this unloader. So you can, if you want more advance and not more speed, you can control that from the XL box. You're going to see on his machines here, Ontario Harvester has come up with its own automatic door opener, which you're going to find that goes into automation systems. But for right now, the doors are sealed.
You got to really, admire the fact that the company has stood behind the product 110% with, and I guess you can give credit, I think our own dealership has been very instrumental in that. I think it's becoming a very common thought throughout the country that XL has basically answered the bottom unloading, first in, first out storage concept.
We're always there to make sure that we're called 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's always a number that he can call, so he feels confident that way when he calls, that he can talk to somebody or that somebody will be down here to look after him. And I think another big part that Selmar is very pleased with is when Harvester offers a warranty that they say that they offer on the unloaders, that it's backed up by if there's any problems or if there's stuff to be done on them, maintenance or whatever. If it's a part of the warranty, it is covered by Harvester or CST, that it is looked after the way that the contract has been agreed upon.
Haven't had the old Goliath 2 in previous experience or with when we had the home farm at first. I'm quite impressed with the delivery of the XL. It's high-speed delivery, it's consistent, and there's no more of this starting and trying to get it started in the morning. There's no more belt squealing. It's on and it's go.
The Harvester, has always offered a level of control in feed storage, and I think it's come full circle that with the addressing the unloader issue, that it is probably the most advanced feed storage available to dairymen and livestock producers today.
Automation has been really big here, and it gives us 100% flexibility in when do we do chores, or when do we want to do chores, or when can we get to chores, or who's got to do what with with the kids. If the kids got to go to birthday parties, or they're in school now and they have places to go, we don't have those set chore times anymore. So everything will run even though we're not here. The cows are fed, milking's being done, so we can scoop in and out whenever we want. We still have our bulk of the work, we just do it when we get to it.